happy living without electricity or running water, any of those basic luxuries? So not too many of us, right? Well, just imagine that you live in the desert where it's hot in the summer and freezing in the winter, and your family doesn't have the security of a locked door to keep you safe and warm at night. Would you still be happy? The purpose of this presentation is to inform you about the time that I went to Mexico and the experiences that I had there, and how it sparked a realization of myself and the world around me. I hope it can do the same for you. Let's go back to where it all began. My glory days at high school is just, I was struggling with, lacking the motivation, and didn't really want to go. I was having a hard time finding my niche, and it just ended off with how giving to others really helped me change as a person. So my freshman year of high school, my church's youth group was actually going on a mission trip. They were going to Mexico over spring break to build houses. And, for me, this was going to be the first time ever traveling outside of the country or, building a house or really anything for that matter. Only 7 students had signed up for the trip, and they were all girls that I didn't really know too well, so that didn't help my confidence too much. As going on the trip became more and more of a reality, I started to get more scared and insecure about my building capabilities, the language barrier, my lack of church friends. All those things were just making me more and more nervous. So, according to my survey, 50% of you said that you have been on a mission trip or participated in volunteer work of some sort. Did any of you happen to go to Mexico for this, or out of the country? Anyone ever been to Mexico? Seen what I'm talking about? All right. Well, you can imagine how I'd be a little nervous in my situation. But, with my negative outlook, little did I know there was nowhere to go but up. During the drive down to Mexico, I started to get more and more excited. I was just looking around, it was a whole different world. It was a whole different culture that I had never seen before, never been exposed to, and it was really exciting. We started building the house, and we had no power tools or anything, just given the lack of electricity in these neighborhoods. It was just handsaw, hammer, and nail, and my personal favorite, which was mixing the cement by hand. But before I know it, I found my niche. It turns out I was actually pretty good with a hammer, and bonds started to form within my church as well as the local people. One night in particular, the family, I found out that they had spent a decent amount of their month's income cooking the entire crew dinner. And cooking your guests dinner would be seemingly a small gesture, but for this family it was such a beautiful gift. And it was that moment that things started to really change for me. And 80% of the class said that you guys have witnessed poverty before. So I want you to just really quick think back to that time when you first had witnessed that and what went through your head and what emotions you felt. Well, for me, this was the first time that I had ever really seen this level of poverty. And it wasn't even the poverty itself that shocked me. It was more the attitude of people. Here I was thinking, I'm building them a house. They don't have anything. They don't even have a home. But I was so wrong. They had this true, pure happiness, this unconditional happiness. They had a joy that I had never witnessed before. And the team of 7 girls, we ended up finishing the house ahead of schedule. And we gave the family the keys, and we even had time to go to the beach. And this time the beach actually felt different for me. I realized that I had this newfound appreciation for life within me. And 95% of you, actually all but one of you, had said that giving to others can actually help you grow as a person. And this was definitely true for me. From that moment on, I saw no point or true benefit in being materialistic. I went on this trip thinking that I was going to be giving so much of myself and working so hard, but I ended up receiving so much more in the end. Sometimes it just takes, getting past that lack of motivation and finding your niche and sacrificing a part of yourself for someone else to realize a new way of life. The fact is, if you're sitting in this room right now, you have a million things to be grateful for, even if it is just the basics of life. So, a quote that I once heard and will forever be written on my heart is that the happiest people on earth don't necessarily have the best of everything, they just make the best of everything. So I hope that you guys can realize the same thing that I did all those years ago and know that the best way to live your life is to go out and make the best of everything, regardless of your circumstances. You won't regret it.